What's going on, everybody? This is your W.O.F Outlook and discussion for Saturday, August 5th, 2023. And before we get into today's video, I hope everyone is doing well, remaining positive, and as always, staying blessed. All right, you guys, back here at your Weather on the Fly studios. We've been going from out of the studios for a while, but we are back to take a look at the mess that's going on across this part of the globe, you guys. All this weather, tropical systems, primarily in the Eastern Pacific, is booming, and the severe weather season that just keeps on giving across the United States just never going to end, it seems, you guys. So if you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe here at your Weather on the Fly so you can stay up to date and weather aware. As the Storm Prediction Center and the National Hurricane Center comes out with updates, I have them constantly posted in nice and graphical animational form so everyone in the YouTube nation can stay up to date and weather aware. All right, you guys, taking a look here at the Atlantic Ocean. You can see here we at August 5th today. So we are technically about 10 to 15 days from the start of the Cape Verde, the peak of the hurricane season, you guys. So right now it's quite fairly dry still, not quite, conditions are not there just yet for development to just take off, but you guys, we are getting closer and closer, and I promise you this map on this side of the region, when I come up and open up WF Weather on the Fly in a few more weeks, you guys, I'm sure we're going to be opening up to several hurricanes probably spinning here across the Atlantic basin. So please enjoy the calm while it's here, because I promise you it probably won't be lasting for much longer, you guys. And as you can see, we do have some tropical waves here along the intertropical convergence zone that is tracking across the tropical Atlantic towards the west here, but we still have that dry mid-level air and dust to the north of these waves, so they really can't get going, you guys. Up here across the North Atlantic, you can see here we have a system here coming out of the northeast New England area with a front straight down across the southwestern Atlantic. This troughiness is protecting the United States. So if anything were to develop out here at this time, it will turn north and up and on out into the North Atlantic, out into this area, you guys, if this setup were to hold, which if you don't like hurricanes hitting land, you will want this setup to stay in place. So if any of them do form out here, they will turn up to the north. But you guys, it's the weather, and we know that pattern ain't gonna hold for forever, you guys. So it's a good thing trying to get it, but hey, we'll take what we can get. The Caribbean, you guys, is still dry. No kind of tropical development for the next 7 days. We look here across the Gulf of Mexico, the same, dry, no development. But as we head on over to the Eastern Pacific, you guys, we do have Hurricane Dora, which just became a major hurricane again. As small as she is, as she continues on her track across the Eastern Pacific, her intensity is going to fluctuate up and down. That's usually what small tropical cyclones and hurricanes, their intensity, they are very vulnerable to any kind of deviation in the atmospheric conditions. They can quickly ramp up or they can quickly die out in a blink of an eye, you guys. So Dora, she's going back and forth, you guys, but now she is back to a major hurricane, category 3. I would have her advisory made for later on today posted up on the website, you guys. So if you love tracking the hurricanes and just keeping up with them, I will have her advisory posted out later. And you guys, we also do have a new tropical depression 6E, that just formed off the Mexican coast. And I will have the advisory for this system as soon as I finish making this video. I will go ahead and make the advisory for this system and have it posted about an hour after this video is posted, you guys. But as you can see here, we have, more than likely, this is going to be Eugene. I didn't have the name, you guys, couldn't get the name for nothing in the world. But yes, I looked it up, and it will be Eugene, you guys. And we will keep an eye on it here along the southern coast of Mexico here, parts of the Mexican coast, as it's very close. And even as it continues to track towards the northwest here, parts of the southern coast of the Baja California Peninsula, we will definitely have to be on the lookout, as this system, future Eugene, could possibly get very close to you guys. Now, as we take it on over to the lower 48, the season that keeps on giving of severe weather, you guys, you can see here, I just feel so sorry for Texas, you guys. Like this heat, Texas, Louisiana, parts of Mississippi. This just don't make no sense, you guys. Let me get my paintbrush going. All right, we do have the ridge basically somewhere up in this area of the country, you guys. At the ridge basically somewhere in this area, just a nasty orientation of the ridge and such in a form of however you want to put it, you guys. The ridge, something like this. Maybe not all the way into California, you guys, but hey, the ridge is Bacon, Louisiana, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona. All these areas are going to start to heat up yet again today. And as you can see on the outside of this area, this is basically where on the outside of the periphery of the ridge is basically your jet stream, you guys. And that is where your severe weather and everything is going to be popping off today. And as you can see, the upper disturbance already coming across parts of Kansas, heading on into parts of Missouri, you guys. But with this mid to upper level flow and this disturbance coming on in here, with the main disturbance here spinning up across parts of the Dakotas here, South Dakota, North Dakota, all of that is going to be the catalyst for the severe weather today. And as I take the paintbrush off, you guys, I just like to illustrate the quick high pressure and troughiness just about where it's positioned at on here. But you can actually look at the water vapor, you guys, and the water vapor are clearly positioned and tell you just where the high pressure is, but all this dry, dusty weather is just about where that high is at. And when you get into parts of the moisture and your disturbances and storms, that's when you get into these lighter colors and have all the lightning and the rainstorms on the radar, you guys. But as we pause the surface map, because I'm rambling on, you guys, we pause the surface map so we can get into the convective outlook. All right, tornadoes, get all those off, those alerts off. We're going to get the temperature alerts off. All right, I think I have everything else. All right, and here we go, you guys. Convective outlook day one. And as you can see, we do have the Storm Prediction Center does have an enhanced risk for parts of eastern Colorado on down into southern Kansas, northern Oklahoma, even getting into parts of the Texas Panhandle, you guys. Some of the areas that is included in this enhanced risk is Garden City, Ponca City, just to the north of Oklahoma City. Y'all know I butchers names. Just around Fayetteville, Arkansas, you guys. Let me get in closer so some more of these cities can come up. Boise City in the Oklahoma Panhandle, Springfield, Lamar, into parts of eastern Colorado. All you guys are under this enhanced risk. Oklahoma City, you under the slight risk. On over east towards Memphis, Springfield, Missouri, Kansas City, on up into parts of Omaha, Sulphur Falls. All you guys are in a slight risk. Denver, Colorado, you in the slight risk. And we do have a secondary little slight risk here for parts of eastern Illinois getting on into south central parts of Indiana, which does include the Indianapolis area. And we do have a marginal risk that goes down to the Florida Panhandle, extending into parts of northern, northeast Mississippi, into most of Alabama, you guys, with a general thunderstorm risk here across parts of the Pacific Northwest, here across parts of Maine with that upper level system that's spinning on out into the Atlantic, you guys, and even some showers here across the Florida Peninsula. As we check to see just what these storms are going to be up to, tornado probability, we do have a 5% chance of a few tornadoes here across eastern Illinois going into south central Indiana, the Indianapolis area. We have to definitely be on the lookout. We do have another threat, another 5% area of a few tornadoes here across parts of Nebraska on up into South Dakota around the Omaha area. We have to definitely be on the lookout. And yet again here across eastern Colorado, getting into the Oklahoma Panhandle and extreme northern Texas Panhandle could see a spin up or two for today. Hell, we do have a 30% chance across eastern Colorado extending on into the Oklahoma Panhandle. A 30% chance of that hail pushing 1 to 1.5 inch in diameter. A 15% chance extending on up into Omaha, just north of Oklahoma City, you guys. A 5% chance of that hail includes Memphis, Kansas City. We go to the wind probability. We have a 30% chance across the enhanced risk of those winds pushing 50 to 60, could be gusting as high as 70, maybe even 80 miles per hour here, you guys. And across the slight risk, we do have a 15% chance of those strong, locally damaging winds here, and a 5% along the marginal risk, the outer edge of that, which does go down towards the Alabama and Florida Gulf coastal waters, you guys. No significant tornadoes. That's good news. We do have an area for significant hail across the Denver, around the Denver area, extending on into parts of the extreme northern Texas Panhandle, parts of Oklahoma and southwest Kansas. That hail pushing 2 to 3+ inches in diameter will be possible. And across this area, yet again, a significant wind threat with winds as high as 80, maybe even 85 miles per hour will be a possibility, you guys. So we will have a very busy day today. As we check the HRRR to see just how these storms are going to continue to materialize throughout today. All right, you guys are going to start here at 12 o'clock here at your Weather on the Fly. We always start here at 12 noon. Look like one of those hours it's going to be rocking there across parts of Oklahoma and the Texas Panhandle around the 18-hour mark. But you guys, we're going to get there in due time. All right, as we take a look here around the noon hour, you can see we have our upper level system here across South Dakota spinning, which could possibly have some heavy rainfall with that system as well. Look at the cluster of showers that we're going to have moving across Illinois into Indiana, and also the cluster of showers that's going on across parts of Kansas, southern Missouri, parts of northeast Oklahoma. Showers are going to be starting to break out here across the Florida Peninsula with daytime heating. As we move on to about 5 in the afternoon, you guys, all right, you can see here we still have our system, our upper system across parts of South Dakota spinning across the Pacific Northwest. In northwest part of the country, Idaho, Montana, showers and thunderstorms will be starting to develop here. And as we start to get into the late afternoon, heading into the evening, you can see here around the Denver area, eastern Colorado, even here across the Texas Panhandle. Look at these heavy cells starting to pop. All hazards will be starting to be in play, primarily damaging winds and hail, but a couple tornadoes will be in play today, you guys. So we will definitely be on the lookout. Look here, just to the north of the Memphis area, around 5 o'clock Central Daylight Time, some heavy cells along the Mississippi River could be starting to pop off, even into the Boot Hill area of Missouri. Look up on extending into parts of eastern Illinois, heading into Indiana with this disturbance here. We'll be definitely on the lookout for a few tornadoes spinning up as that system heads on into Indiana, you guys. Look at the showers and thunderstorms across the Florida Panhandle with that marginal risk. Look down across the Florida Peninsula, showers and thunderstorms are popping up. As we get towards the evening hour around 10 o'clock, a lot of people are starting to head on to bed here around this time, you guys. And as you can see, we will still have this system spinning up across South Dakota. But look at the strong thunderstorms that's starting to pop up around southwest Minnesota, northwest Iowa here, you guys, getting on down to the Omaha area. And look, it's really starting to pop as we get into the nighttime areas here around west central Kansas, getting on down into Oklahoma, even still going on here across parts of southeastern Colorado. These cells could be having the chance to produce all hazards here, you guys, as we head into the nighttime hours. And look here across central Tennessee, northern Mississippi, some strong cells, damaging winds, and hail will be a possibility. Look here across parts of south central Alabama, could have some heavy cells left over from this daytime heating as the atmosphere starts to calm down across the south. And across parts of northern Indiana, heavy rainfall will still be ongoing, you guys. Now, as we head towards that time frame, which it looked like it was popping, you guys, around 1 a.m. overnight here, look across the enhanced risk just to the north of Oklahoma City, on up towards Wichita, Kansas, Garden City. Look at these clusters of showers and thunderstorms. It's going to be rumbling, you guys. So you don't be surprised if you get awakened here during the overnight hours by these severe storms as they're coming through you guys' area. We will definitely be on the lookout for some flooding as well. Look here around the overnight hours here across parts of west central Iowa, just to the east of Omaha. Look at these heavy cells here, you guys. Those are going to sure enough be causing some good thundering and probably some hail and damaging winds for the overnight hours as this system continues to spin here across parts of South Dakota. We get on into parts of northern Indiana. Yet again, some heavy showers and thunderstorms could be ongoing. Looks like as we head into the overnight hours, this cluster here across central Tennessee, the Nashville area, getting on down into Huntsville, Alabama. Looks like these showers and thunderstorms increase in intensity and coverage here as we head through the overnight hours. So it's going to be very busy, you guys. As we head to convective outlook day 2, which will be for Sunday, you guys, the slight risk does move on and shifts here towards parts of southern and central Illinois, Indiana, getting into Kentucky, just about all of Tennessee, parts of West Virginia, the regular state of Virginia here, you guys, parts of North Carolina, extreme Georgia here. Will be in a slight risk. A marginal risk encompasses the outer edge of that, which does include the Chicago area, Charlotte, the Memphis, you're in a slight risk. St. Louis, you're in a slight risk, you guys. So we'll definitely be on the lookout with a thunderstorm risk here, yet again for parts of the Pacific Northwest, getting on into the central high plains, on up into parts of the northern plains here, you guys, with yet again a general risk for thunderstorms along the Gulf Coast if you're lucky enough during daytime heating. As we check the probability for your Sunday, we do have a 2% chance of a couple tornadoes here across parts of southeast Iowa, northeast Missouri, here across the northwest, getting into central Illinois, and yet again another area here around parts of extreme northeast Ohio, getting into Pennsylvania. We'll be on the lookout for a couple tornadoes spinning up. As we look at the hail probability, we have a 5% chance around that whole entire slight risk of that hail pushing 1 to 1.5 inch in diameter here, you guys. So we'll be on the lookout. Winds, as of right now, we have a 15% chance of that slight across the slight risk for winds pushing 50 to 60, gusting as high as 70 here, you guys, with a 5% chance along the outer edge of that, along that marginal risk. No significant tornadoes, no significant hail at the moment, and no significant wind. So that is good news, but that could change, you guys. So that's why I say stay up to date, weather aware. Make sure you subscribe here at your Weather on the Fly so you won't miss a beat when these updates come out, you guys. Now, as we go on ahead and continue throughout convective outlook day 2, you can see as we get to the Sunday morning, look at the heavy rain across eastern Oklahoma, getting into northern Arkansas here. Even another heavy cluster of storms could be across parts of northern Alabama, heading on into northern Georgia. With this upper level system now starting to spin here across, getting into southeast South Dakota and starting to get into northeast Nebraska here. As we get on to about 12 o'clock on you guys Sunday, as we're heading into the afternoon, you can see as this upper level system starts to head on and spin into Iowa, you can see the heavy showers and thunderstorms around Minnesota, getting into east central Iowa, heading on down into parts of western Illinois. We'll be on the lookout. This is just starting to get going here around the noon hour, even here across parts of central Michigan here. Heavy showers that could be producing some isolated instances of flash flooding, you guys. And we do have a few cells here popping up around daytime heating here across southern Alabama, the Florida Peninsula yet again. We head on to about 4 or 5 in the afternoon, heading into late afternoon on into the evening. And you can see the showers and thunderstorms are definitely increasing here in intensity and coverage across much of the eastern United States. So, like I said, if you're lucky enough to get under one of these showers to cool you down from this summer heat, it will be a blessing. But as we head on to about 5 o'clock on you guys Sunday, you can see here across parts of Iowa, northern Missouri, heading on into Illinois. Look at these heavy showers and thunderstorms. Damaging winds, hail, and a tornado could be possible. Here on up around Minneapolis here could have some heavy rain, isolated hail, and gusty winds possibly for you guys areas. Look here across parts of the Pacific Northwest here, United States, Idaho, Washington, Oregon, Montana, Wyoming. All you guys will have that chance yet again for some showers and thunderstorms with possibly some instances of flash flooding with those heavier storms. Look here across parts of Georgia, the Carolinas, Alabama, the Florida Panhandle, you guys, getting on up into Virginia. Look at how these cells start to increase in intensity and coverage as we head into your Sunday afternoon and getting on into the evening, you guys, as we head on to 10, 11 o'clock. See just how this continue to, oh man, you guys, look at this cluster that's going to pop, that's going to develop here with this upper system that's going to be moving, finally moving out of the Dakotas and Nebraska, Iowa, heading on towards Illinois. And look at the strong cluster of storms that's going to come through Springfield, Peoria, St. Louis here. Your Sunday evening heading into the overnight hours. We have to definitely be on the lookout here. We head to about 1, 2 in the morning. This should continue on into Indiana. And as you can see around the Indianapolis area, it's going to be rumbling for you guys overnight Sunday heading into your Monday. And look here across parts of West Virginia, heading on down into eastern Tennessee, heavy showers and thunderstorms. Even flooding downpours could be ongoing from northern Michigan on down into parts of Pennsylvania, the mid-Atlantic, you guys. Will definitely be looking out for this weather. And as we head into convective outlook day 3, which as far as the HRRR will take us out, and you can see the Storm Prediction Center yet again has a slight risk of severe weather from northern Alabama, extending on up into parts of the northeast around the New York City area, with a marginal risk encompassing the outer edge of that. So, you guys, we're going to yet again have much of a very much busy severe weather coming up for the next few days. So yet again, if you haven't done so already, be sure to share, like, and subscribe, because also sharing and liking help keeps the videos getting into the algorithm so YouTube can push them out more and everyone can stay up to date and weather aware. And now as we take the models off and convective outlook, you guys, you know we likes to end here at your weather on the fly with the excessive rainfall outlook. And for you guys, Saturday, you can see here we do have a slight risk up across the Dakotas, parts of Minnesota on down into Iowa and even Nebraska. With that upper level disturbance spinning here, those showers and thunderstorms will be producing some flash flooding. Here again across parts of Illinois and into Indiana, the Indianapolis area, we'll have to be on the lookout for some flash flooding. Even here along the Gulf Coast from Ocean Springs, Mississippi, on into parts of just about to Jacksonville, just to the west of Jacksonville, Florida. We have a marginal risk for some flash flooding today. We head on to you guys Sunday, and we do have yet again, look up here across parts of Idaho, Montana, a marginal risk, a slight risk up across southern Minnesota, Iowa, getting on down into northwest Illinois for Sunday, with a marginal risk of encompassing the outer edge of that. That does include Memphis on over towards Charlotte, heading on into Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Ohio, Kentucky. All you guys, we have to be on the lookout for some flooding for Sunday. As we head into Monday, we will yet again have a chance of flooding here from Chicago on over towards Detroit, Cleveland. A slight risk for some excessive rainfall. A marginal risk here for just about all of New York, Pennsylvania, getting on down into parts of West Virginia here, you guys, and even parts of the northern parts of the regular state of Virginia. We'll be on the lookout for some heavy rain. We also have a marginal risk across parts of eastern Colorado, getting on down into western Kansas here, parts of Nebraska, and even Oklahoma, and up across parts of northern Idaho, western Montana. We'll have that threat for some excessive rainfall. And other than that, you guys, besides the heat that keeps on giving, other than that, there's nothing else to report here, you guys. That's going to be it for this one. Everyone be safe, be careful in all of this severe weather, tropical systems, heat, and I will talk to you all in the next one.